Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General YAHANNA presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General YAHANNA. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Serious, and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do His will. I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put your faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play, cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo.
Amazing honor don't like no soldiers for the Spirit of the Lord. We don't like no soldiers.
The same. Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate y'all as the same. Hate Christ and they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate. African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in a cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lie sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the U.P.K, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. U.P.K the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under YAHANNA, ain't me murdered by them and got a hug from YAHANNA. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priest bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose.
Aquí somos la Escuela Israelita del Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Hoy estamos aquí. Lord Commander General YAHANNA, I.S.U.P.K.
This is what Commander General YAHANNA did. This is what he did.
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. I had to dig.
I.S.U.P.K presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Barakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh, Shamar, Lathan, Hashem, Yahushua to all the sisters. I'm Priest Enough Certified Major Barak Yahweh with the I.S.U.P.K, which stands for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. You understand, since 1969, I've been teaching you nothing but the truth about the scriptures, about your identity, about your language, your culture. And who am I addressing? I'm addressing and referring to so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who are the real biblical Israelites of antiquity, the only nation on the face of the earth, as prophesied, that would have been stripped out of their culture, their language, their identity. You understand? We are the real biblical Jews, or the real biblical Israelites, however you want to call it, not those bastards over there bombarding Palestinians to smithereens. When I'm using this term bastard, I'm not using it loosely, as this is what it says in the Bible, slightly paraphrasing, that a bastard or a mamzer shall dwell in Ashdod. You understand? And just like every Friday evening, we have the Lashawan Qadash, where we learn our true language before we go on those slave ships, which is what you call Paleo Hebrew, Paleo meaning ancient Hebrew, or the Lashawan Qadash, meaning the holy tongue. Lashawan is the word for tongue, Qadash is the word for holy, right? This is not Yiddish, which was created one, I think the 5th or century or whatnot, by these same bastards who bombard Palestinians today, right? What you would call the small hats, or the, the people who are kin to Epstein, or what's his name again? Weinstein, or whatnot, right? These imposters, the synagogue of Satan. This is the home of the truth, where you get the true Hebrew, not no shalom, not no shalom, not no shalom, but the shalom, the true biblical Hebrew, right? So we're going to do a quick review of the alphabet, right? The alphabet and the salute. We're going to do a quick review before we get into today's lesson. All right, so write down the alphabet, take notes as well. All right, you want to take notes. The alphabet, we'll start with the Paleo Hebrew, which again is the Lashawan Qadash, which is our original alphabet. I'm gonna write down the characters and the pronunciation in a different color right under them. So bear with me one moment. If there's any issues as far as seeing what's on the screen, let me know, of course. Right? Just give me 1 second. So let me write down the pronunciation of each character in a different color. Also, if you want to be in the school, tap on the sign in and sign out link at the beginning of each class. Make sure you do your 90 days, get your Hebrew name. There is nothing more important in this day and age of knowing who you are and coming back to the ways of the Lord, to your law, statutes, and commandments. Time is running short, Israel. You understand? We're living on borrowed time. We've done the pronunciation, and then you could take these notes. If you want the Hebrew material as far as a copy of the alphabet, of the symbolic meaning of the characters, just send us a message directly at isupkmontreal@gmail.com, isupkcanada@gmail.com, isupkiet@gmail.com. All these channels that we're currently streaming from on YouTube and Facebook. Do not be complacent with learning your culture. You have no issues going on YouTube learning how to cook crack, learning how to roll up a blunt. Do not be complacent when it comes to learning your culture. Just like you are not complacent on learning how, to do all manners of evil and all manners of sin. Right? So this is the alphabet. Again, Hebrew, unlike damn near the majority of modern day languages, is not read from left to right, but is read and written from right to left. Therefore, it goes as such: A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, like Captain Kataza, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha. So I'm gonna let you copy these characters. I'm gonna give you a few minutes, right? And then we'll go into the Assyrian character. And again, the Assyrian is good to learn. It's really for more so for edification purposes, because our modern day text would be used with the Assyrian characters, which we adopted coming out of Assyrian captivities, right? It is not the correct characters. As far as correct, it is not the original, let me say that like that, the original characters that we use, because we adopted it being captives from another nation, which is the Assyrian. It is good if you want to read the modern day text when we're going to go through scriptures just during the Sabbath service, right? Going through the Old Testament, primarily. If you want to lose tool at the Blue Letter Bible, you want to check the interlinear, the root word, the proper context. When you look into the Hebrew characters, they will be used with the Assyrian characters. The other thing is, those characters are used today by Jewish people who follow the Jewish faith, not by nationality, but by a make-believe faith that they created around the 4th, 5th century, and which really is a telltale sign that they are not the real Jews. Because when you ask Jewish people if they were ever captives, they will claim that they were captives by the Egyptian people only. If that's the case, why are they using Assyrian characters? If they truly were the real biblical Israelites, which they say Jews, they don't use the term Israelites, they would and should know that those characters they use in the Yiddish, right, were adopted after coming out of the Assyrian captivity. How do I know that they're not doing so? Because we interviewed a lot of Jewish people around Montreal, and they don't even know that the real Jews were in different captivities other than the Egyptian. So be quiet now, take notes, give you a few minutes, and then we'll move on to the Assyrian characters. Never forget the one, man. The oppressor is a devil the Bible speaks of. Also, make sure you pay your tithes, you like, share the live everywhere. And any questions or comments, obviously put it in the chat. Today we're going to go into numbers and colors. I think that should be enough time. There should be enough time for you to have written down these characters. We're going to move on, right? Salakia, to the Assyrian characters. Then the review of the salute, which we should do at the beginning of the beginning and end of every class. Salute with your name, if you don't have a Hebrew name yet. If you do, salute with your rank, and then name, if you're a brother, right? If you're a sister, just salute with your name, as well as your tribe, right? So like myself, say Shalom, Yahweh, Hashem, Shabbat, so I'm saluting brothers. I'm saluting sisters. Kwatazayan, Kamash Ma'a, Barak Yala, Ban Banyamyan, Ban Yasharala. Barak Yala, son of Benjamin, son of Israel. We'll get to that after reviewing the Assyrian characters. As you know, some of the characters have two forms when they are placed at the end of a word. There's 5 characters that change at the end of a word, which are the ka, the ma, the na, the pa, and the taza, right? Let me space it out a bit more. Let me write the pronunciation. We'll move on to the salute and today's lesson. This is what you would see in Yiddish text, or what they would call modern Hebrew. The order doesn't change, it's just some characters change when they're placed at the end of a word. That's it. In the kingdom, we will not be using these. Why? Because there will be no bastardization of our culture. So again, the same order, right? Ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, tza, kwa, ra, sha, and tha. Real quick, let me highlight or circle these extra characters. Again, you have the ka, the ma, the na, pa and the tazah. Right? At the end of a word, you would use the form that is circled in red. Right? For example, ka, which could be used as a preposition, Salaki, I mean as possessive adjective, meaning your, right? Lakam is the word for bread. So we say your bread, lakam ka. If you write it in the Assyrian, the ka would have the second form, right? So I'm gonna let you take these down. We're going to the salute. Remember, the beginning and the end of each classes, we're doing the salute, which is really a prayer, which is the reason why, as men, we salute with our heads uncovered. And as for the sisters, they would salute with their head covered. And that's in the Bible. It's not something that we make up. We don't make things up. It's all biblical. What is it again? It's 1 Corinthians, I think it's chapter 7. So like 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 4, every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. Verse 5, but every woman that prayed or prophesied with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven. Men have their head uncovered, women have their head covered. You understand? Even birds you see with war scars or whatnot, or what you call war tams, right? Like the brown berets, like it's a beret. The crown of the head is uncovered. We don't teach class. We don't go to camp. We don't read scriptures. We don't pray, salute each other, which is a prayer towards one another, with our heads covered as men. If our heads are covered and if sisters' heads are uncovered, this is where we say, Shalom, Lord in Christ. You understand? Some brothers even take it a step further. Even when they text, I messaged Officer 5000 Shapat from Texas. He saluted me back. He said, Shalom, Lord in Christ, Salak, and my head is covered. This is so spiritual that even while texting, I would say, Shalom, Lord in Christ. Just know, if I text you, Shalom, Lord in Christ, I'm not being lazy. Believe it or not, my head is covered. Whether I'm in the house or outside, depending on the setting that I'm in, because sometimes with the slaveries, it's the winter, we're outside, or whatnot, when the bus or, our heads are covered. I will tell you, Shalom, Lord in Christ, when my head is covered. My head is uncovered. I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to salute you the right way. Shalom. Yahweh Hashem Shabrakatha, or Yahweh Shemala, Tha B'Hashem Yahushai. Let's not be complacent when it comes to our culture. You understand? In fact, the Bible said when you teach a kid, train up a child when he is young, or when it says when Deuteronomy that we teach our kids the law from young, let's teach our kids every aspect of our culture from young. That they teach their kids. They teach their kids in return. So on and so forth. That we go back to our lost as a commandment, just like we taught them how to celebrate Christmas because we're oppressed, because we were taught how to celebrate Christmas, which we're not supposed to. Let's teach them how to speak Hebrew, how to follow the laws, how to be brotherly and sisterly towards one another. This is how we build the kingdom of heaven. You understand? Not by observation, but by rehearsing the righteous acts. And everything I'm telling you is in our Constitution, which is the Bible. Right? Give you a few more minutes. Then we're going to salute. And today's, what did I say? Today's lesson, Salaki. All right. So we'll do the salute. Oh, Kusha, bear with me 1 second. Let's deal with the salute. And then today's lesson. Again, as a man saluting other men, you would say, so I'm not going to write the salute in the Hebrew. It's just for you to know how to say it, right? Shalom, not shalom. So you would say Shalom, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, or Barakathai for singular, which means peace. Yahweh, which is the name of the Lord. Bahasham, if you remember the previous classes, the root word is Sham, which is name. Ba and Ha mean in the. So in the name, in proper English would be in the name of Yahweh Shai, which is Hebrew for Joshua. Jesus, which is just the Greek mistransliteration of Joshua. So that's, you always say Jesus today. Bless you. Or you over here, you all, right? So, Shalom Yah, Bashim Shabakatah. So essentially what you're saying is peace, Shalom. We always pray peace upon our brothers and upon our sisters. Yahweh, which is the name of the Lord, not Yah or Yahweh or Jehovah or God, especially not Buddha or Allah or Shiva or whatnot. Shalom Yahweh, Bahasham, meaning in the name of Yahweh Shai, which is what you would say Jesus today. Barak, meaning to bless. Atha, meaning you, singular, or Atham, you, plural, or you could say you all. So essentially, as a brother saluting one brother, I would say Shalom Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Barak Atha. And saluting multiple brothers, you would say Shalom Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Barak Atham. Right? This is the pronunciation. As you know, if you were write it with the Hebrew characters or even with the Assyrian, you would write it from right to left. So now we're just learning how to say the salute step by step, right? So take this down, and then we're going to deal with a salute that you say to a sister, to multiple sisters as a man, or to a sister, to a brother or brothers, or to multiple sisters again as a woman. So write these down, take your time. If I go too fast, of course, let me know. Do not hesitate to request to go over something that you may have missed. And do not be complacent with your culture. Okay. Should have enough time. If not, of course, just put it in the chat. I want to go over it again, right? We'll deal with the other salute. So again, this one is for brothers by brothers, right? Only brothers will say this one. So now we're going to move to the other one. Shalom Yahweh, Shamar, I'll, Atha, Atham, or Athan, Shalom Yahweh Shamar, Atha, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Which we'll do. You know what? Let me correct how I wrote Yahweh Shai. That was my mistake. So again, we pray. Where's the red marker selected? So if you're a brother saluting one sister, if you're a sister saluting one sister, or if you're a sister saluting multiple sisters, or even a brother saluting multiple sisters, this is what will be used, right? So you would say, Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, I'll, Atha, singular, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, which you would say, peace, Yahweh, watch over you in the name of Yahweh Shai, right? And this is where it changes slightly. That's if you're a brother saluting one sister, singular, Atha, or if you're a sister saluting one brother, you would say Atha, right? Now, when it comes to the plural, if you're a sister saluting multiple brothers, you would say Atham. You would say Shalom Yahweh Shema Atham Bahashim Yahweh Shai. When it ends with a ma, it indicates the plural, the masculine plural specifically, right? Now, if you're a brother saluting multiple sisters or a sister saluting multiple sisters, you would use athan, which is the same but feminine plural. Then na at the end indicates the feminine plural. So shalom Yahweh Shema atham bahashim Yahweh Shai if you're a sister saluting multiple brothers, and shalom Yahweh Shema alathan bahashim Yahweh Shai if you are saluting multiple sisters, right? So this salute is strictly for sisters to salute one sister or multiple sisters, salute one brother or multiple brothers. So basically, in essence, right, the previous salute is only brothers who are going to say it to one or multiple brothers. This salute is for brothers to say to one or multiple sisters, or for sisters to say to one or multiple brothers and one or multiple sisters, right? So I hope I didn't make it too confusing. Take this down and we'll move on to today's lesson. All right. That was the review for today. Move on to today's lesson. If we have time, we'll go over some more common verbs and nouns we find throughout the Bible. You understand? Today's lesson will be numbers and colors. Lord allow we have time for both. And some words you should already know that we're going to see today. Maybe you have heard it. Maybe you use it yourself. Maybe you actually take notes, as you should. Just maybe. I don't like to speculate, but maybe you are taking the notes that you should be taking, as opposed to roll your blunt on your couch. Maybe you're actually paying attention to class, as opposed to being on OnlyFans, right? So let's go with the numbers. We're going to start with this. We count from 1 to 10. Okay. So the numbers. The word for numbers the Hebrew word for numbers is masapar. The Hebrew word for numbers is masapar. Masapar, right? Which you could find in the lexicon as Salakia. H 45 57. So I'm giving you where to find it in the lexicon, which you could refer to, because in the word masapar, what do you have? It's a part of the lesson, right? If you take notes, you would recognize the root word of masapar, of how the word numbers is made up, and you would recognize that the ma is a preposition, which means of, right? But what does sapar mean? Sapar if you have been taking notes, the root word is sapar, which means to count. Sapar, which is the root word for masapar, which is the word for now numbers. Sapar, which is to count. And you can find that in the lexicon as H5608, which is the root word for numbers, is sapar. Therefore, the ma, meaning of counting, right? Essentially, that's how the word numbers is formed, right? So y'all can write this down real quick, and then we'll get to numbers from 1 to 10 today. Let me see what time it is. Not at home. We see numbers from 1 to 10 today. Get into the colors. Look at some of the root words of these colors as well. Okay. You should have time to see both. So Masapar, which is the numbers, and to count, which is the root word sapar, right? So let's go into the numbers from 1 to 10. We'll go 1 to 5 because I'm going to write for you the paleo, and if you feel like it, I guess I could write the Syrian as well. So 1 to 5, let's start with this, is Akkad, like Captain Akkad. Akkad Shania, which is 2. Shania. Shalash. Arabai. If I'm not mistaken. Arabai. And Kamash. Take notes, because each class, what we'll do is we'll go over what was said in the previous class. So let me write this down for y'all in the Lashawan Qadash as well as the Assyrian. So Akkad, Shania, Shalash, Bai, and Kamash. You write it in the Assyrian for y'all. If you remember, the Assyrian did not have the connectors. Or I said Kamash. Go ahead and take these notes down. So we do 1 to 5 and then 6 to 10. So Akkad, Shania, Shalash, Arabai, Kamash. You want to practice that with your children, right? Which basically is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Again, Akkad, Shania, Shalash, Arabai, Kamash. You should have had enough time to copy it. Let's move on to the next 5. You want to practice that really on a daily basis. This is like stuff you're gonna hear all the time, you know. Like even while you're doing push-ups, especially if you work out, while you're doing push-ups, count in your head. Aka, Shanya, Shalash, Arabai, Kamash. You understand? Shasha, Shabai, Shamana, Thashai, Aishara. Do sets of 10 push-ups for now, not because you're unable to do more than 10, right? But as you learn to count from 1 to 10, do that as a practice. Whatever exercise you're doing reps. Count your reps in the Hebrew, just to get you in the habit of counting from 1 to 10 in the Hebrew. You know, pull-ups, dumbbell curls, push-ups, squats. You know, you could do 50, do 50. But for now, even as you do your set or one set of 50, just don't count to 50. Count to 10 and do it 5 times. As you reach 10, you go over again. Second set, Akkad, Shania, Shalah, Shabai, Kamash. We're going to write the rest. Sasha. What does it say? Sasha, Shabai, Shamana. What else? That's it. Tashai, Aishara. Just do that. You understand? To get you into the habit of knowing how to count in your original language. So again, 6, 7, 8. Tell these kids to say 6, 7 in the Hebrew. How about that? It's a lot. Don't do that. Shasha. What did I say? Shasha, Shabai. Shamana. Thashai. Aishara. Right, let me write it in the Lashawan Qadash. Shasha. Shabai. Sha. Ma. Na. Shai. I. Sha. Ra. Which is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, have your kids. The kids are listening to this. What's their brother name again from Philly? He looks like he's not sober at all time. He says 6, 7, 6, 7. Tell him 6, 6, 7 in the Hebrew. Tell him Shasha Shabai. Yeah? That's what your kids love to do anyways. Tell him Shasha Shabai. Shasha, which is 6, 7. 6, 7, right? Shasha Shabai. Shamana. Sha. Wow. Na. Tashai. Aishara. Right. Take these down. So again, 6 to 10 is Shasha, Shabai, Shamana, Tashai, Aishara. Now that you got 1 to 10, right? Of course, as we progress, we're going to go 1 to 10 to 20, 30, 50, 70, 100, so on and so forth, 1,000, whatnot, right? At least you got the basic, you know how to count from 1 to 10. Do your reps. You do 50 push-ups one time, count, Akkad, Shanya, Shalash, Arbai, Kamash, Shasha, Shabai, Shamana, Thashai, Aishara. And as you do, as you get from 11 to 20, just start over again. Akkad, Shanya, Shalash, Arbai, Kamash, Shasha, Shabai, Shamana, Thashai, Aishara. Over and over again, until at least you get used to counting from 1 to 10. That's it. Even if you count in your head, just recite in your head 1 to 10 for whatever purpose. I don't know, maybe you're cooking or you're looking at, who knows? You're counting the time for you to get off your slavery, right? Just count in your head, not from 1 to 10, but from Akkad to Aishara. And do it backwards, from Aishara to Akkad. Right? Y'all should have had enough time so we could go to the next part of the lesson, which we're going to go over colors. Then we're going to see some common, common verbs today. Before we do so, right, all y'all are paying your tithes, which is 10%. Ma'aishara in the Hebrew. We're going to see how we form the word tithes, or 10%. Ma'aishara, real quick, right? Pay your tithes. Tithes in the Hebrew. Ma'aishara. You should know this. Why? Because we just seen a few examples. Ma'aishara. Remember, when we look at the Hebrew, right, if we could recognize the root word, we see that there is a preposition in ma'aishara. The ma will serve as a preposition meaning of. You understand? Savlakia. And Aishara, you just see that Aishara means 10. And what is your tithes? The tithes is 10%. 10% meaning a tenth, right? 1/10, meaning 1 of 10. This is how you get 10%. You understand? This is how you know the translation is correct. Ma'aishara in the Hebrew meaning of 10. Of 10, or what you would say today, 10%. You understand? So make sure you go I.S.U.P.K.com, pay your tithes and your Passover fee. Passover is what? Pasak. I'll show you how to write Pasak in the Hebrew. Then we'll move on to the colors. Passover is Pasak, right? Pasak. Passover, 57th annual Passover will be in Houston, Texas, April 4th, 2026. Make sure you pay your tithes. Yes, then the Lord said, don't come empty-handed. Do not come empty-handed. You understand? We're not doing this for us. We're doing this for the Lord. We're doing this for Yahushua. You understand? Pasak. Now let's move on to the next segment of the class, which is the colors. Right. So the word for colors again is kayan. Kayan is the word for colors. Let me see. I want to write the Assyrian for y'all as well. So kayan. Where's the blue marker? Let me write the Assyrian. Yan. That's the word for colors. Bear with me 1 second. Salakia. You understand? So ka'ayan is the word for colors, right? The root word is ayan. The root word is ayan, meaning I. If you remember, the root word is ayan. That's the root word for ka'ayan, right? Which means I. You understand? And you see colors with your eye, right? Let me write this down. Where's the other marker? The root word is ayan, which is the word for I. I don't have to write it, right? The root word is ayan, which is the word for I. We're going to a couple colors that I have down for y'all. You know, make sure you write it down. Take your notes and practice at home. Practice when you speak to brothers, to sisters. Just practice in general, right? So we'll do 2 colors at a time. So I have red. Let's start with red. The word for red is Adawam, which is also the word for Edom, as in the Edomites. Red or Edom. it says Esau was a red man, right? Adawam, the Wam, in the Assyrian. Adawam. Now, the root word for Adawam is Adam. The root word for Adawam is Adam, which means ground, right? Root word is Adam to mean the ground or soil, like red soil. So Adam, let me write it down. Adam, the root word is soil or ground. That's what it means. That's the root word for Adawam in red. Right? That's the color red. Take this down real quick. Okay. Next color. Next color would be Salakia Tazahab, which is the color for yellow. If we have enough space, you know what? If we have enough space, we'll do two colors at a time. With Tazahab, which is yellow. Tazahab. Tazahab. In the Assyrian, Tazahab. Tazahab. So the origins of it, it might come. So the origin, some word have root words, some of them have origins as far as what they represent, right? So the origins of Tazaha with the original meaning, origin meaning gleaming. Something that's gleaming or that's to gleam or to shine, right? And you can find that in the lexicon. The reference for the lexicon is H6668. Tazahab. Let's see if we have space for another one. We should. We'll go with green as well. So green would be Ra'aynan. Ra'aynan. Salaki. Let's space this out a bit more. Ra'aynan. Ra'aynan, in the origin of Ra'aynan, which is the word for green, which means to grow or something luxuriant, fresh, and like greenery, right? So to grow. And the reference in the lexicon would be H7488. All right. You have to take this down. I do not have the color for orange. I mean the Hebrew word for orange. Which one's one of the next ones? Okay. Another, what, 30 seconds or whatnot? Okay. Let's move on to the next ones. I'm gonna go with blue. blue, which is takalat. Ta, tha, ka, lat is the word for blue. Ta, ka, lat. Right? Takalat, which is the word for blue. Takalat. And basically, the origins of it it comes from, it is the name of a shellfish, basically, that we use to produce a color or a dye, right? So when we dye certain garments or fabric, we created that desired color, blue, using that shellfish, right? So that name for that shellfish, it's takalat, which is how you get blue. Another reference in the lexicon would be H 8504. Make sure it's clear. So H 8504. Next color is going to be indigo, which pretty much indigo, or what you would consider today navy blue or navy, which would fall under the blue spectrum. So you would use the same word pretty much, but you're going to understand the context of it when you actually see the color, right? There, as you know, the Hebrew word for color is kayan. Ayan with the I, which is what you use to see colors, right? So indigo, it would fall under blue, indigo or navy, right? Indigo or navy falls under blue. How many more colors we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to see today. We have 7 more colors that we're going to see, and then we'll see if we have time for some verbs, all right? So write this down. Takalat. You know what? I made a big mistake. Let me see. Salakia, Salakia, Salakia. Don't even write this down yet. Give me 1 second. Yeah. See, that's what you have to take your time, correct yourself. It's not a tha, it's a tha. So the first characters are messed up. So it's the tha like this, right? Like something is weird. Salakia, this is my fault. I did not mean to make you make a mistake. So this is how you write it. Takalat. Right? It's not wrong to be wrong, but it is wrong to stay wrong. You gotta correct yourself. It's okay to be wrong as long as you could correct yourself. Takalat. Next, we're gonna go with purple. Right. So if you have enough time to take these down, let's go to purple. I knew a dog whose name was Purple. In the Hebrew, the dog known as Purple, you would call it Aragaman. It sounds more badass than purple. I ain't gonna hold you. Aragaman. So purple, or some people say violet. Violet or purple. Man. Have enough space. You know what? Let's not be complacent, right? Man. Can still write the Assyrian right here. Man. Argaman, which comes from, if you look into it, it comes from a foreign origin, which means just like a purple dye, right? Foreign origin. Purple dye. And the reference in the lexicon would be H713. H713. Right? H713. We have 6 more for the day. So take this down. This is purple. Aragaman. Aragaman. Let's see if we could do 2 at a time, 2 at once for the next 6, for time's sake, right? So we're going to have black. Is Shaka War. Shaka War. Shaka War. This is the word for black. Shaka War, the root word, again, some of them have root words, some of them don't. right? So the root word is shakar, shakar, which means dawn, right? Shakar meaning dawn. Write it down for y'all. Shakar. Shakar, which means dawn. In the lexicon, this would be for Shakawar, H 7838. And for Shakar, it would be H 7835. You have space for another color before I let you write this down. Be brown. That's for black and brown, right? Black and brown. Brown will be kawam. Kawam. Kawam, and the root word for kawam is kam, as in the word for ham, right? Root word is kam, which is the biblical name of the Hamites, kam or ham, which means hot. Mean hot. In the lexicon, it would be Salakia, H 2345 for kawam. And for kam, H 2525. You can take these down. Okay. Bear with me one more second. We're going to go into the next colors. The brown, we're going to go to Laban, like Officer Laban, or Laban, Rachel's, and what's the other sister name? Rachel and Leah's father, right? Laban, which is the word for white. Laban, which is the word for white. Laban. What's the other marker? There you go. Laban, which is the word for white. Now, the origin of Laban is to be white. Which can also mean to purify, right? To purify or render pure, or to make brick, right? So depending on the context, one word could have different meanings depending on the context. The Hebrew word for Laban, which is not a Hebrew, it's Salakia. The reference in the lexicon for Laban is H3836. H, right over there. H3836. Since we have space, the next one we're going to go into is gold or golden, right? So gold or golden, which is zahab. Zahab. Salaki. Zahab, and the origin is from the element, which is the metal gold. The origin is the element gold, right? In the lexicon, that would be H2091. I forgot to write the Assyrian for y'all. So the Assyrian would be Zahab, just like this. All right, two more. Let me see, what time is it? You might have to put the sign out links in the chat already. Okay. You have two more. Take this down. Laban and Zahab. Let's go with the last two, and we're going to some vocabulary as far as common verbs. Just remember, we did last week class in English as well, meaning next week, the next 2 weeks would be in French, right? As we alternate 2 classes in English, 2 classes in French. So next one is silver. The Hebrew word for silver is kasap. And if you've been taking notes, you would recognize that's also the word for money. Kasap. Right, the origin is the same as gold from the element silver. Also a word for money. We're writing the Assyrian for y'all. Kasap. Kasap. And the next one is bronze. Oh, I forgot to write a lexicon. Kasap in the lexicon would be H3701. And you have bronze. Bronze, which is nakashat. Shot, right? Nakashat. The root word is going to be Nakawasha. Nakawasha. Which means copper or bronze, right? Kawasha, which is copper or bronze. Copper or bronze. So it's not ka. Washa. Writing the Assyrian, as well as where to find them in the lexicon. Na ka shat. Na ka wa shat. All right, and in the lexicon, they would be H5178 for bronze, H5178, and for Nakawasha, which is the root word, would be H5154. Right, so write these down, and then we'll get into, before the end of the class, some vocabulary as far as more common verbs, right? Before we end the class. And next week, the next 2 weeks, as a matter of fact, the class will be in French. So write these down. Make sure you like, share the class, click on the sign in and sign out links we'll put in the chat momentarily. So in a moment. And as a matter of fact, I can actually do that right now. Just put the sign out links in the chat. All right, give y'all a few more seconds and we'll move on to the verbs before we end the class. Okay, let's go with the verbs. If you're not taking notes, you're complacent. Remember, the devil is not complacent in his work. He was not complacent into stripping us from our culture. He was not complacent into poisoning us with crack cocaine in the neighborhoods and making whores out of our daughters and sodomites out of our brothers and sons. So do not be complacent when it comes to taking back your culture and coming back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Right? Let's go with some verbs. We've seen patak. We've seen Kobatiza already. Qadash. The word for, let's go with karath, right? Which is the word for cut, the verb for cut, which is karath. Right, Captain Karathia, right? To cut, let me write that one more time. So to cut Karath. Karath. To rescue. Today, the vocabulary will only consist of verbs. To rescue, which says yashai. Like our deliverer, right? The one who's coming to rescue us. Rescue us is Yahawashai. Or our redeemer. To fight, as I said, some word could have more than one meaning. To fight is a perfect example of it, which is lakam. Lakam could be bread. It could also be the verb to fight. Lakam. I'll write the Assyrian for you, as well as the where's the red marker? And where you can find them in the lexicon. So Karath would be H3772. Where that's a rescue, Yeshai H3467. And Lakam would be H3898. These are just common verbs when you write the Assyrian for y'all. Karath, Yeshai, and what else? Lakam. Karath, Yeshai, and Lakam. Gonna probably see 6 more. That's gonna be it. Karath, Yeshai, Lakam. There's 3 more that we haven't seen yet. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. Bakwash. To search out. Bakwash. We seen the bar, the rash, to seek. The rash. I'm not sure if we've seen zakar, but let's go with zakar, which is to remember. Like it says in Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. In our captivity, we'll remember ourselves, remember who we are, which is zakar. Right? Bakwash, the rash, zakar. Bakwash. The rash. Zakar. Quash the Zakar. And in the lexicon, Salakia, it would be so Bakwash, as I said, the search out would be 1245. No, Salakia. Khan. H 1245. The rash would be H 1875. And zakar to remember would be 2142. All right. We have time for 3 more. Let's see, we might have space for actually 4. For those who know, we've seen count earlier, which is sapar, which is how you get the word for numbers, right? Which is masapar. Let's see which one. Okay, I know exactly which one we're going to go next. Then again, we will salute. Next, we'll go with Salakia, to turn back, as we are turning back to the Lord. To turn back, which is Shawab. Shawab. To turn back. Let's go with to turn back. We've seen Shammai already. Shamar, to guard or to protect, right? as we've seen when we do the salute, Yahweh Shamar Alatha, which is the Lord to watch over us. To watch over is also to be protected or to be guarded. You understand? So in that context, the word to guard would be Shamar, which is, you know, a guard dog is a watchdog, right? He's here to guard or to watch. And then we'll go with, which one haven't we seen yet? Seen halak, just to walk, to search out. Bakar, is it Bakar? So Bakar, which would be to choose, as we are chosen. The Lord chose us. You understand? Choose would be Bakar. So Shawab. Shamar. I said Bakar. I'm going to give you the lexicon, where to find these in the lexicon, as well as the Hebrews, like it. Last one, in the Assyrian, Shawab, Shamar, and Bakar. Now, in the lexicon, where's the red marker? It would be, let's say, Shawab. It would be 7725. Shamar would be 8104. And Bakar, which is to choose, would be H977. All right, so take these down, and then we'll end the class right here. We'll salute, and we will see each other in really 3 weeks. Like in the next 2 weeks, the classes in the Lashawan Qadash will be in French, right? So go ahead, write these down. And with that, we're going to end the class right here. You understand? It's the Lashawan Qadash. We're live every Friday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Tomorrow we have our scripture breakdown in French at the community center. If you want to assist to it in your city of Montreal, send us a message at isupkmontreal@gmail.com. It'll be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or contact us on any of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. You know, we also have a WhatsApp as well if you want to inquire about it, right? Make sure you click the sign in and sign out link in the chat. With that, we're going to give a courtesy salute to our brothers and our sisters, right? We get the security announcements, and we will salute each other as we should. Every beginning and end of class for the brothers will be Shalom, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Brakatham, to the brothers in plural. And for sisters, it will be Shalom, Yahweh Shemalatham, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. You understand? Now we would say, now brothers would salute back the same way. Sisters would salute brothers by saying Shalom, Yahweh Shemalatham, masculine with a ma at the end, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. You understand? But let's get a security announcement and we'll see each other in the next class, Israel. The water for everybody who told it. Shalom. There's the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After the 6 months period, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, which means 10th in the Hebrew, as we've seen today. Ma'ashara of 10, which is what 10% is. 1 of 10, right? Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. We do have coming up the Feast of Purim, which is the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, which falls on Monday, March the 2nd, and Tuesday, March the 3rd, 2026. You can read more about it in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 to 31. Reminder to all Akim wa Akwathian, meaning to brothers and sisters, to check the bulletin board in the hallway of their school if they have a physical location. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, scarf, well, that would give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim, which means to stand, will give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Brakatham, in Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Bless y'all. Yajamata, which means hands down. Sar, you're going to turn and face the sisters if you have any in your presence, right? Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Shamar Al-Athan Bahashem Yahweh Shai, in Yahweh, watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yad Jamata, which means hands down. Class dismissed. To Wada Israel. Salam.
Check me out, dog. Roll the window up, man. The water. Ain't no better, dog, brother. The son of a king. I don't Balenciaga. I might just wear a collar. I might just wear the Pradas. But I'm thinking long term, so I might say the dollars. We ain't no better. I'm just being honest. I should've went to college, but I was thinking violence. This a one West world. We the fucking livest. Break it down, we break ground. We don't break no damn promise. Let's get active, dog. Don't tell me how you feel about it. These cats saying too much. They ain't learn enough. You maxed out the first quarter, I'm still warming up. These niggas tossing up a brick, they can't score with us. Who gon' come against us? On the Lord with us. Them niggas riding for you. I hope they ride till they crash. Put my name in your mouth, I put my belt to your ass. I ain't running no race, I just hope that I last. All them niggas you look up to, I consider them trash. Only time you seen a leader was in Wayne hand. Niggas will dap you, then pop you with the same hand. I'm a main player, I stick to the game plan. He don't really fuck with you, that's your main man. We them niggas came through and made your city hot. Yep, said he in the field, but he really not. And I ain't casting no stone, I just let him rock. And that's the kind of story they gon' read about. But if it's war, it ain't no tapping out. Grip still heat, spit like a dragon mouth.
He parted the Red Sea, and the entire nation of Israel walked out of slavery.
The I.S.U.P.K. presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one way.